Okay, back with another podcast. And today's one is just me and my wonderful co-host. We're going to be running through some Q&As that we did on our Instagrams. But before that, I just wanted to get into a few bits of Dave. We were just talking a moment off camera about insecurities and stuff like that when you're on, whether it's off season or whether it's prep, like be that body fat, the way, poor self-image. So yeah, it's like to explain what you were just saying about it, Dave.
That was actually a question on.
Oh,
We actually covered it last time. What's your biggest insecurity? And I've got it again. Funny enough, and we obviously just talking about the off season look when you got to have a beard on because you got a double chin and you just don't like the way it looks, and how we probably put too much thought into it because most people probably don't care. But to us, it's like, oh, like you see someone and you think, oh, are they going to think my face is fat? And that's I think that happens to all of us.
do you know what? I'll let you in on a secret. Like, even doing these podcasts, like sometimes I'm looking at the screen at like the split screen and I'm looking at myself and I'm like a little bit self-conscious of how I look like. And it's funny because as men, we're almost not supposed to think these things. It's seen as like maybe a feminine trait or it's seen as like a weakness in some way, shape, or form. But I think men feel it as well. We're just not allowed to be as vocal about it. You know what I mean?
I think especially if you're someone that's considered like to take care of themselves a little bit more. Like,
Definitely.
there's people that just don't care that much, and that's fine. But to us, it's important. Like, I kind of take pride in looking good, like making sure I always have my haircut done and my beard is always done. If I have a beard, or it's that matters to me.
Yeah, man, and I think it matters to a lot of blokes as well. But again, it's not necessarily something that public about. But it's fun. It's interesting that you brought it up just when we were off camera because it's definitely something that I've been thinking quite a lot. I've been talking to Amy about it. I actually don't have a very high self worth of like my. I'm not talking about bodybuilding right now. I'm just talking about life. I don't really like the way I look. It's weird because through my 20s and we're just growing up, I was more self assured. And as I've got older, I don't know, something shifted in my mind, and I'm not really as comfortable in my own skin anymore, which is kind of strange considering I'm getting on stage with my pants on. You know what I mean?
A lot of it is kind of like the opposite of what people might think, because bodybuilders, people kind of to general pop, we kind of people probably look at us and think, oh yeah, he loves himself, and it's like, yeah and no, because we do a lot to like look a certain way. A lot of effort goes into it, but is it to like hide something else?
I tell you what, yeah, I mean, definitely people would assume that. I mean, and I'm sure you're the same. I'm proud of certain things. I'm proud of the effort I've put in, and it's taken years, but that doesn't mean that I love everything about myself. In fact, most things I pretty much don't like, to be honest with you. When you see a photo of yourself, it's not like you're like, wow, you're thinking that needs work, that needs work. It's constant like that in your mind.
Do you think that's why people go to getting certain procedures and then overdo it too much?
No
Because
doubt, mate.
a little
No
bit
doubt.
more and I'll be happy, a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like a slippery slope, isn't it? You get a bit more, and as you say, in your mind, you think it's almost like a drug user.
Mm.
One more hit, and you take the hit, and it gives you a high, but then that high goes, and you're like, fuck, one more, and it's always one more.
A
It's
lot
funny
of it.
that
I've got friends that have fillers and Botox and all sorts, and I see that, and I will be the first one to say, look, stop here, don't push it anymore, because
it's. I think people struggle with getting older. It's certainly something that you're still younger, so it might not have come to you as much now. But I'm 35. I'm not old, but I'm certainly noticing that I'm older now. There are certain things, and it's like with my hair going or like my skin or things like that. So I can see why people fall down that trap. But I think what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, there's something I admire about people who can just accept it and be like, nah, this is me. You know what I mean? Rather than trying to fight it all the time.
does is that a thing though, or people just hide it well enough?
I think some people are genuinely happy with where they are in their life. And I'm talking physically. Like, so they're
Yeah.
45, let's say, and they've got some wrinkles and they look, some grey hairs. They're just like, eh. I think those people are out there, and I commend that kind of like mentality.
Yeah, definitely envy those people.
Well, I didn't get into training because I was trying to cover something up. A lot of people say that they got to training because they were bullied or they had a hard time in school. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, school was not hard for me at all. Like, it just wasn't. I didn't have a hard time in school. I started training because I wanted to get girls, and I wanted to be bigger than the other lads, stronger than the other lads. It was nothing to do with an insecurity. I just be big and strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I'm the same way. I just sort of looked at certain people and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could look like that. And
definitely.
It just escalates a little. It take a little bit further than.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you get a lot of questions?
Yeah, but before we get into it, mate, I wanted to do one last thing just before we get into the Q&A. I feel like we talk about my plans quite a lot, like with our guests. I want to put it on you. What is your plan for the next 3, 6, 12 months, whatever?
Well,
where you're at the moment?
At the minute, I'm pretty much at like peak. We've just started a cruise, so that will probably carry over into next year. And January, probably looking to start a diet. So I've been in a surplus for like 8 months probably now. So, see what I've done pretty much.
What body weight did you start your blast on, and what did you finish on?
235. It's 235.
Or what now?
Well, the lowest I got down to, like 232, probably 235. When I got down in May.
And what are you now?
273, 272.
Nice.
So if I can push it to 280, that will be a good starting. Because I'm not like, I still got veins in my legs, and I think for us, like now, you'll probably, like, that, like, you're lean at like 300. So it gets a lot hard. Like, a lot of my clients are like, how can you be that weight and like not be fat? I'm like, I couldn't even get fat even if I wanted to.
Yeah, definitely. It just takes time. And I say that exact same thing to my clients. It's like, the way that I live my life and the way that it's literally impossible for me to get fat. For me to get fat, I would have to change dramatically. So I'd have to stop training, and I'd have to not give a fuck. If I give a fuck, if I train hard, there's no way I'm getting fat. There's just no way.
And again, fat is relative. Like we're not like fat for a bodybuilder. We're like we are fat for a bodybuilder. But
yes.
Compared to a normal person in the gym, we're not fat.
No, that's it. Yeah, like our peak off seasons is probably most people's like ideal composition. I mean, a lot of people would strive to be that lean.
When I say to like my mum or my dad, when I go, I'm fat, and they're like, you're not fat. I'm like, you don't get it. I am fat, just fat for my standards.
Everything's relative. Everything. As you say, it probably seems quite annoying to a lot of people when we say that we're fat or something, because obviously we're not, right? But your level changes as the years go on.
Yeah, so I reckon probably start of January, probably start dieting.
Yeah, and then and what are you going to go to what point? Just until you feel?
Yeah, pretty much, and then push back up. I just repeat, rinse, repeat. That's pretty much it.
Hey mate, well it's done you well so far, man. You're great.
Thing is, that's I always say to people, like a lot of my friends will say, oh, you live like someone like a competitor, and I'm like, look, there's no such thing. It's like you either live like a bodybuilder or you don't. Like, there's no such thing as competitor and non-competitor. It's the same process.
You and I do the same things. The only difference is I take it a little bit further at the end and put on some fake tan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we do pretty much the same shit.
Do you know what? Looking at my pictures from this year, if I had taken off another 10 pounds, I still wouldn't have been ready, don't get me wrong, but if I had taken off another 10 pounds, I probably could have got on stage and been in a shape where most people go on stage, like 95%. But that's not good enough for me. I want like the condition you get into, and that for me is, unless I can achieve that, what's the point?
Yeah, I think with your shape, like I say this like quite a lot, well, not quite a lot, but anyway, like I feel like you've got some of your body parts are quite, it really stand out, like good. Like you've got
really. See, I don't think I've got anything that's like that's. Nah. I think everything's like okay, but nothing's like your back, for example, or like
bullshit. No. Don't agree. You've got really good body parts, Like if you were to take that further step in terms of condition, really interested to see what you could
Do you
do because
reckon
your
that
shape
would
is
that would make a difference in how they look? Taking off another 10 pounds of
yeah. Well, I know on me it makes me look better. If I take off
yeah,
that final 10 pounds, I look better, you know. So I don't
yeah.
know.
Or I think like at that 230, I thought I looked stringy.
No,
I don't
no,
know.
no, 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 no. I don't agree with that
Maybe
one,
we'll
mate.
see. We'll see next year. Because if I can be 240 in a better condition, that's a win.
Absolutely, mate. 240 in pretty decent condition is like it's legit, man.
Yeah.
Legit.
Obviously, the heights are obviously always a factor because a lot of
Yeah, of
people on
course.
240. Remember, we're 6 foot plus, so
Yeah, that's it. When I say it, like like me being 300 pounds, I've made a big song and dance of it. But because it's a milestone for me. But the reason why I'm so heavy is I'm 6'3". Like, I have to be. You know what I
I think
mean?
it's 300 pounds, no matter what height you are, no matter what height, 300 pounds. I mean, how many fucking people are 300 pounds?
Uh, it's pretty comfy though. I'm honestly not. Like, yeah, it's good, mate.
You've done it before. You've been there before.
Yeah, it's the third time. Like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
last two off seasons, I've already been here, so it's the third one. But anyway, mate, should we get some questions?
Have you got them written down again?
I've got them in front of me here on my phone.
All right. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I've got a good one. Ready?
Let's go.
Who versus Chudley? Strength off. Who wins? I
What now?
don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
No, I mean, look, you're. I don't think there's a lift that I can beat you. Like, I think overall you're probably going to be stronger on across because you always have been. You've always been like ahead, and then like, oh, I'll do something, and then you'll match it, and then you know.
Yeah, I think
Bench.
there's
Let's take bench. Bench. You've done most I've done is 200. You've done 230.
230. Yeah,
Deadlift. Well, dead. I've actually done more than you, but you haven't. You
I've
haven't.
I've never tried past it really. I've done a
Yeah.
320, but
I've
here's my
seen that 320, but that 320 was like you picked up like an empty bar.
my caveat to the 320 is it was 100% raw.
Yeah.
I've not seen many people do a beltless strapless 320. I've not seen many do that.
No.
But you did a 330, right?
Yes, but it was sumo
Ooh.
also.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've done 320 conventional,
Yeah.
but no, across the board, I'd say your overhead press, I've done 140 on push press.
I've done a 140 strict.
Yeah.
I did. What's your squat? Your squat's 270, isn't it?
270, yeah.
I've done a 310.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you're across the board, but like now we couldn't match any of that.
Yeah, no. I think
That's what I'm saying. Do they mean now or back then?
Yeah. Now I feel like I'm stronger on certain things now, just not the big three.
When you train with when you train the big three and you train with a bodybuilder and they just absolutely smoke you, but they can't even bench like 100. And you think, how the fuck? But it's because you get good at certain movement patterns, and that's essentially what it is.
Well, if you and I focused more, if we went, imagine like tomorrow onwards, we just did bench, squat, dead. Within 6 to 8 weeks, we'd be back to where we were.
Probably, yeah.
As long as we stayed injury free, we'd be back there.
Yeah, which that's it. Like with bench, especially, there's no, there's not enough money that someone can pay me to lay under a 200 kilo bench again.
No.
Get it?
The way I used to just get under 4 plates week after week, 4 plus plates, it's just I can't believe it. But
no spot and no nothing. You just just do it.
Anyway, yeah, you go, mate. Next one.
All right. Let's see. Do you take on beginners?
Yeah. Hold on. Like, as in, never, ever, ever train, ever.
Yeah. So someone's just got into the gym.
I would, but you know what my thing would be? Probably, I'd say I don't know if you need a coach right now. Like, I don't know. Like, just go in there and have a bit of fun with it. I don't know if like a coach is overkill.
You would say they've got no clue about how to diet, what to eat. They think like protein is steroids, and they're like creatine is going to make you put on 10 pounds, and the shit we used to think back then. They have like nothing like that. They've got no clue how to like they don't know what a lat pull down is, stuff like that.
In which case, yeah, when you word it like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I think what I was getting at was like, you see people who are like fully. Sometimes I take on people who are near that level, and I almost think that I'm overkill for what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying to go to the gym and have a bit of fun, and I'm telling you do this, and it just feels a bit much. But when you broke it down like that, it does make sense.
Yeah. Generally, the way I sort of think of it is, I'm not a babysitter. I hate having to kind of spoon feed people.
Look at that.
But it's just I think it depends on the person and how serious they actually are, because a lot of beginners are a bit like,
yeah, that's true. As long as they're willing and able, like the level doesn't really matter. Like if I take on someone who's done 10 shows and super like really fucking experienced, someone who's never done a show and is just kind of getting into it, I don't care. I'll treat everyone with the same level of respect. I'll just accommodate their level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I don't attract beginners. No. I don't ever get a beginner like come up. Whether that's because we're kind of intimidating for them, or
I don't know. I don't think a beginner. I don't know if I've ever taken someone who's brand new. Like, I don't think it's ever happened. So
no.
I don't know if
when you speak to someone in like a commercial gym and you say, "Oh, you got to go to a better gym. Like, come see my gym," and they're like, "No, I'm not good enough for that gym yet." And you're like, well, "What do you mean?"
People used to say it about Spartans all the time, and in Southampton they used to be like, "Oh, everyone's fucking meathead in there. Everyone's fucking massive in there." It's like, who?
You're like, no.
There is a few big boys in there and strong boys, but it's cool, isn't it? Right, yeah. Right, next one. Okay. In your opinion, what's the top 5 supplements to use? Quick fire.
Creatine, whey protein, glutamine for digestion, probably a fish oil. Have you got another one?
Steroids.
Growth.
I couldn't agree more. I was going to say those 4. And probably maybe some vitamins.
Yeah.
Like basic stuff. But yeah, for sure. I've got like an FAQ sheet I send to all my clients, and those are the things I say to everyone to take. If it's in your budget and you can take these, take them. That's it.
Yeah. I think again, yes, there's merit to it, but what you get a lot of is all these people now have a bucket list of a bunch of supplements, but then they're not following their diet. They're not following a diet or training. And that's where, taking out of context, taking your ashwagandha before fucking bed and or your sleep stack. And you're like, bro, just give it up. You're spending all this money, I've
said it before, but it's like the one take-home point I just wish I could get through to everyone is how hard you train and how accurate you are with a good diet will override all of the supplements, even steroids. Even steroids. Like training with as much intensity as possible, getting your food right will beat everything else.
Yeah, I mean, how many people we know that take loads of stuff and then, or how many people do you get when they go, do you lose all your gains on a cruise? And you're like, no, why? I'm still in a super physiological or near about.
Also, but how long have we trained really, really hard? Like, so just.
Didn't we have that chat once when we argued with it? If you, let's say we were both to come off everything now forever, would you lose your muscle?
We did have that chat. That was years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You were more along the lines of a lot of it would go.
Yeah.
And I was more.
I don't think so now.
Yeah. See,
I've changed my mind now because I think like all that muscle that you've built over years and years and years, it's not just gonna go.
You know what I feel like with you and me, mate? I feel like, with all due respect, I'm 10 years, 9. I'm 10, 9 or 10, anyway, I'm older than you.
Yeah.
The things that you thought 5 years ago when we would have chats, and the things that you know now, it just evolves with time, doesn't it? Like
Yeah. I mean,
your opinion of stuff has changed. I've seen it
change.
happen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And again, I think that's important to kind of own it and be like, I've changed my mind.
What, me, for sure.
You know, because
It's
some
like
people that like have an opinion and they're like, well, now I've got to run with it. No,
no.
if you think, fuck, I was wrong, change it. Like, you can say, I've
Hey,
changed my mind.
that's such a good point. It's okay to change your mind. You know,
Yeah.
if you say something that is different from what you said before, and someone's like, "Well, that's not what you said before," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, because I changed my mind."
And that you get out a lot of YouTubers, like, they'll make a video and say they've done it 3 years ago. And because it, like, you just recycle info. Because, like, I mean, how many times can you talk about proteins and fats and, and like bodybuilding's kind of basic. So
Yeah.
they'll remake the video and someone will pull them up on it. Be like, you said such and such before. And they're like, yeah, but that was 3 years ago. Now I know better.
That's so true, man. The biggest U-turn that I've made myself is probably 2015 or so. I was very much an advocate of like flexible dieting.
Right.
I was really big on just saying you can eat what you want and get in shape. I remember saying it. It makes me cringe now because no, I don't agree with that. If you're just a lifestyle client, not client, if you're someone who wants to have a bit of fun, yeah. But if you want to be a good bodybuilder or make significant change, you need to be a little bit more strict.
Even for lifestyle, like, if you have the same food, it makes it so much more predictable, so much easier to gauge what's going on.
100%, mate. Yeah, that was the biggest U-turn for me. I just don't agree with that now, really.
Yeah. Is it me?
You, mate, it's you.
Favorite bodybuilder,
Uh,
current or
Current.
any.
We said this, I think, before. I think right now, I really like the look of Samson or Andrew Jacked.
Really?
Like, if what, like for me, when I look at a bodybuilder, I just think they're really muscular, but also really aesthetic. Like along the lines of Flex Wheeler kind of.
Yeah, I think both their backs are just not.
I agree. I agree. But from the front, like the
Yeah,
show muscles, like
like the
this, and then like
silhouette type. Yeah, I get that.
like imagine a bodybuilder just stood there, relaxed. You can't get better than Samson or Andrew. Do you
Yeah,
know the way they just bubbly,
I think it's the yeah. Oh, I get that. I think on stage it's obviously going to be different because of
yeah.
their
If we're
back.
talking about you know, like overall package, it's probably not them, but I just really like.
Yeah.
How about
Oh, I
you?
mean, it doesn't have to be just physique. I think it just means just as a whole.
Personal favorite, like in a dream world, I'd love like one of them two to get the Olympic title.
Yeah,
I think they're just really, really good looking physique with a lot of mass, and they're taller. Being taller, I can relate to it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
relate to them. Yeah,
How about you?
Nick. I like Nick
Yeah.
Walker. Just I just prefer those type physiques. I just prefer the more like bigger and mass physiques.
Yeah, Nick would be one of my favorites. I really like Nick as well. I really like Nick.
More than just it, like, as a bodybuilder, more like him as a
Yeah,
like person.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. Do you worry about long-term effects of continuous steroid use? Bodybuilders going in their 50s.
Look, if we weren't bodybuilders, we would do something else. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. I think I'm absolutely willing to take the risk in order to do the thing that I'm passionate about.
yeah.
Would you say the same
And the
thing?
way your life has like worked itself out, like, even from the fact that I get to like work from home and work how I like on my terms.
Mhm.
Even from that, I'm willing to, because let's face it, without that enhancement, we wouldn't be where we're at.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's definitely helped. Yeah, yeah, you just nailed it, mate. I mean, the life that we're enabled due to what we do is worth it. Easy all day. And I think that people hyper focus on the deaths in bodybuilding, but there's deaths of loads of people in there. I mean,
yeah,
how many ex sports people? And I'm not talking bodybuilders. I'm not talking steroid use. I'm talking sports like footballers, like people are dying in their 50s from freak heart attacks. It's not just bodybuilding. people
Even
like to make that
normal
massive
fucking
link.
people.
They like to make that link, because they were using steroids, it has to be that. But people are dying all sorts of places. I remember seeing this YouTube video about footballers who were dying in their 50s, but no one was talking about it.
Yeah. Not even just like sports people, but just like normal fucking people.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
I want to say, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say steroids are super safe, as a bodybuilder. I'm just saying, people die, and I'd rather be doing the thing that I'm passionate about than take the risk.
Yeah. And we're not reckless. That's the biggest thing. Like,
Yeah.
if we were, then sure, then you've got more of a like something to kind of, but I think we're doing things pretty safely now. I mean, what normal person gets their blood work twice a year, 3 times a year?
No. One time every 5 years if they're lucky,
Right.
And we're trying to eat like a regulated, like the same stuff all the time. We're trying to make sure we get loads of nutrients. We're trying to regulate our sleep, which we're very active. So we've got a level of fitness as well. So
that's always my argument. We're way healthier to know. We're hydration. Just take that. Like, what normal person drinks 6 to 8 liters of fucking water a day? No one.
No. And making sure that we're getting anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And yeah.
After you come back from the gym and just have a nap.
Yeah, that's my dream day, mate. I love it.
Yeah, I'm so much like that. Like, days that I can't, I'm like, oh, like I drag.
If I've got to like do some client work, I'm like, oh, fuck's sake.
To think that, like, for a normal person, like, I said that to my tattooist like not long ago, and he took piss out of me. He's like, "What are you, like a child?" I'm like, "What?"
Hey, hold on a minute. Everyone would nap if they could.
Exactly.
Everyone would nap if they could. No, actually, I'm going to go back. I'm kind of saying this for effect, like for a bit of a laugh, but actually, when I nap, I end up feeling like shit. I end up waking up in a bit of I feel groggy. You know what I mean?
I think it
so I
depends
tend to
how
not do
long.
it anymore.
If you over nap, makes it work.
Just like a little power nap,
like a half an hour. Yeah. 30 minutes.
But I think it's hard to get that right. But yeah,
I got a good one. Favorite pose: lean versus off season. I think that's good because it, like, when you're in an off season and you might have a different, you might prefer a different pose compared to.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
What's your lean one?
My lean favorite pose.
Let me guess. Oh, that spread.
Front or back?
Oh, front.
Nah,
the rear shots are boring. Rear shots are like.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. No, do you know what? I don't know if it is that good for me unless I've got a chest pump. Because of my delts are quite dominant. When I do it, I end up like being a bit too like healthy.
Right.
I'll say
good though. It looks strong.
I don't know. Maybe when I'm lean, I like the quarter turns.
Yeah, that's it.
I think so. Yeah. But definitely not when I'm fucking off season.
No. Oh my god.
What's your favorite lean one for you?
Front double.
Yeah.
That's probably
that's my favorite.
The only one I actually like on me as well.
The only one.
Pretty much from the front.
Muscular?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah, your front double's your knockout shot, I think.
Because my shoulders come out in the most muscular, but like, I don't
know.
That
front double with your lats taper, you got a small waist, big biceps. So it's
just because I don't like my midsection. It's really long. So if I on the most muscular, on
the most muscular, you can crunch it down a bit,
Yeah, I guess.
What about
I was going to say off season. I like my most muscular though.
Oh, okay.
Because it's hides the fat.
It was shit off season. Well, the worst pose off season, 100% side tricep.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Right, mine is the side tricep because you can't even hit it.
Literally, kind of, yeah. Side triceps easily the worst, and probably the best is most muscular. You know why? Because you look thick, and you can hide the midsection a little bit.
Yeah.
And because like when you do a front double in off season, the waist looks wider. It kind of throws the look off a bit. You know what I mean?
I've been liking my side chest more recently.
Yeah, yeah. Side
I
chest
think
is not bad.
when
Nice.
I stopped flexing the hamstring
Oh yeah, you got to let that front leg go with no weight on it.
loose,
Yeah,
that's
and
when
then
it
put
started to.
and then push it in. This is what I tell everyone. You got to like push it into your other leg so it does this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That.
Well, last year when we did that session, that posing, that's kind of like when I picked that up, and then
Oh,
it's
did
kind
I
of
did I
stayed.
did I tell you to do it then?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, well there you go. Yeah,
yeah. I always learn my posing from you because sometimes I'll hit it, and then you're like, oh, do this that way, and it because yeah, you obviously as you change it, things will look different.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, yeah, we did that posing session, so didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
was the
thing
biggest
is,
thing. And the
gone.
adductors for me, like, because obviously we said about like on a rear relaxed,
Yeah.
not to like push my glutes back or
Yeah. You either tuck or you push your back so you see your adductors show.
yeah,
One or
which
the
I
other.
quite like that because my adductors show nicely. Like
Yeah,
yours
yeah,
do
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
quite adductor dominant.
yeah. For sure. Right, next one's a joke one, so let's have that. Would you shag a grapefruit to get your name out there? For those that are watching that don't know what that is, Kai Green, famous bodybuilder, was famous for doing a video with a grapefruit.
I mean,
So yeah,
if I can be Kai Green famous,
yeah,
yeah,
would
fuck
you?
it, who the fuck?
So you would take Kai Green's achievements and his level of like financial security and all that if you've just fucked a grapefruit. What with your
Yeah,
mum watching you fuck a grapefruit? Your
yeah,
mum and
fuck it.
dad would see that.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll even do it for less. I'll even do it for like the popularity. Who's like a lesser known like I don't know
Marcus
like
Rule. Oh, I
who?
thought of him.
Then
You don't even know Marcus Rule?
no, no, of course I know. No,
Yeah.
he's not like
I don't
no
know,
one
I
gives
thought
a
of him.
fuck. Like you see him now, if you see Marcus Rule now, unless you're German, like no one really gives a fuck.
So you wouldn't fuck a grapefruit to be Marcus Rule?
No, fuck no. To be to be like say someone of the level like Jordan Peters.
You would fuck a grapefruit to be Jordan Peters.
Yeah, because I mean, think how much money he's got.
Yeah, he's wedged, mate. He's wedged.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
He's
then
got
everyone knows
fucking
you fuck.
gym.
But everyone knows you fucked a grapefruit.
So I mean, bro, people do way worse shit on fucking on online all the time for fuck all money.
But in it a fucking in it a citrus fruit, it's like acidic. You reckon that's gonna burn your dick? That's gonna burn your belly.
Yeah, but then it's done for two minutes and it's done. I don't know,
It takes longer than 2 minutes though. What you're telling me it's gonna make you come in 2 minutes?
bro.
Grapefruit.
I can make myself come in 2 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, good point.
He
Good point.
probably like held it nearby and was just like,
Yeah. All right.
if
All right.
it's
All right.
me, I could do it in 2 minutes. Come on. If it's like someone else having to do it, like that'll take them fucking. That'll be a lot longer. They'll be in there a while,
All
but
right.
like,
All right. What if it's another bloke and a grapefruit, and you can be as popular and as rich as Jordan Peters?
wait, hold on. Is the other guy just looking at me doing it?
Yeah, but he's in the video as well, like proper.
Or just like
He just sat
stare
there.
at you? Yeah, yeah. Fuck it. I don't mind. If I can be the Rock. Okay, I'll do it.
Oh fuck me, yeah. Well, the Rock is like next level shit, isn't he?
All right,
All right.
someone lesser known. Fuck it. I'm easy to please. Like I don't mind. I'll just do it. I'll do it.
I like Cuba. Cuba's wedged.
Oh
Pretty
fuck
well known.
no.
No, Cuba's not good enough. No,
No.
Cuba's wedged. Cuba's wedged.
Yeah, but think like Kuba. Someone's like from America, like like a bodybuilder, like talk about it. Kuba. Who the fuck is Kuba? Like,
Okay, right, right. You need. Do you need notoriety to fucking break?
I would rather be me than be Kuba.
So you're saying you need to have notoriety to fucking break? Like you need that like level of notoriety.
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise, I'd rather just be myself. It's got to be someone that would rather be over
Right.
myself.
Right.
Like,
Well,
if I could be JP, because I mean, JP's cool. Come on,
yeah, JP's cool, but I'd still rather be me than JP personally.
you
That's
reckon?
nothing against JP, but I just would.
Yeah, but
You need
like,
to love yourself more, bro.
bro, if I'm like, wouldn't you like it if you could say, right, from tomorrow everyone's gonna do snatch grip RDLs and every fucker in the country starts doing it?
That'd get boring quick, mate. A load of fucking minions sucking you off for no reason. That'd be fucking annoying as shit.
Yeah,
But
that's
the people
true.
that have never met you, like, oh my god, JP.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, fucking move on. Too much talk about a grapefruit. Fuck Tate.
No, I mean it's hold on, I've got
This is
how tall are you?
pressing matters, isn't it, mate? Pressing matters.
Should we do some like quick ones?
I got
How
them
tall are you? You're 6'3"?
six
Are
three,
you 6'3" or 6'4"?
6'3". What about you?
I'm 6 foot, just on the dot.
In 2 years, who's going to be bigger out of you two?
Well, you're bigger now, so chances are you'll still be bigger then.
Oh yeah, next.
Would you? That's a good one. Would you rather lose all your muscle or give away your girlfriend? We actually had this chat. We already had this chat because, like, obviously she asked this. So think about it, right? Or it's taken me what 8 years to build this much muscle, and you're allowed to regain it though.
Oh, hold on a minute. The thing is, the reason why this is like a tough one, because losing your muscle means that you lose your livelihood as well, and you lose like your identity. It's like this is what you've been for so long, and this is what you've shaped your life around. So losing all your muscle, you literally lose who you are. I don't know if I'm any good to anyone at that point. You know what I'm saying?
You can regain it though. You can start over and regain it.
What, and take another fucking. I don't know how long it'd be if I started from scratch. Like another, yeah, 5, 10 years. I don't know.
Well,
Hold
well,
on,
the
hold on,
argument
hold on.
is because you know better now. Would you regain it quicker?
Well, also, yeah, have you got muscle memory?
No.
So you're starting literally from scratch.
Yeah. Minus the injuries though. Let's give it a little bit of a.
Okay, okay. God, that's tough, mate. But she might be watching this one, so I'm going to say I'm going to keep Amy and I'll give you my muscle.
Imagine like you're like you lose all your muscle and then she's like, yeah, you're dumped. She's like, I don't like you now. You've got no muscle.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, mate. If I lose all my muscle, I don't know if I'm going to be any good to her anyway. Like in more ways than one. So
Yeah.
but she's going to watch this, so I'll keep Amy.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to lose all my muscle.
I don't want to be in the doghouse though, you know. Right, next one. Is Arnie still biting your toes, or has he moved on from that? He still bites them. Anyway, next. Why do you spend the time smiling and talking to everyone in the gym? Thanks for being so humble, and your advice has really helped me and motivate me. I don't know who you are. If you watch this, you're welcome. And I like to be nice as long as it doesn't affect my training too much.
Yeah. Do you say someone comes up to you in the gym? Do you speak to them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, mid-workout?
You know, yeah, I mean, you know, if I've got a really, like, you know, if I'm fucking psyching myself up for a set, I might say, just give me a moment. But I'll definitely make time for anyone. Yeah. Yeah.
No, fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, my gym is like at any point there's no more than 4 or 5 people, if that.
Yeah.
But even still, so when I used to train at other gyms, and people would say to my missus, they'll say, "Oh, he's so like, unapproachable," and I'm not. But don't speak to me when I'm in the gym, especially if I've taken my pre-workout and I'm like in my like, you know, you're in the gym for that hour and a half to train. So for someone to come and interrupt you, I hate being interrupted. Like anyone that interrupts you, like,
Yeah. I see your point, but I really struggle with like I don't like the awkwardness. If someone came over and spoke to me and I was just like I didn't interact with them, I'd feel awkward.
But do you not make yourself? Do you not make yourself so they know that they shouldn't interrupt you?
Yeah, so and to be honest, mate, the fact that someone's even said this is weird to me because I never have bad sessions. It's not like my sessions interrupted by loads of people. I'm fine, like I just crack on.
Yeah.
But I'll find time, is what I'm trying to say. If someone, especially like a younger lad, they come up to me and they're usually really, really polite and they ask me something, and I feel like obliged to be, you know, trying to pass on information, you know.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I guess like I'm so used to training in the gym that's half the time it's just myself in there
yeah,
because I train early. So I I make sure to go at a time that I know it's just going to be me, so I
yeah,
can make all the noise I want, and I can, you know.
yeah. I
So,
get that. I get that. Next question. You go.
what do you think about the misrepresentation of what's achievable by influencers? Well, look, if you're dumb enough to believe it, then that's on you.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of influencers, yeah, they've not walked the walk themselves. People need to realize, and I've realized first fucking hand, um, you need to realize that people care less about achievements and more about how good you are at marketing. Right? Knowing this more and more, I've become more and more successful in my bodybuilding career, and it hasn't made me more successful in terms of numbers of clients. It hasn't. And there are people who have achieved way less than me, doing way more than me. So people need to realize there's a big difference between like the reason why influencers get paid so much money is because they can market to fucking millions of people. So you just need to differentiate between actual knowledge and someone who's good at marketing. Do you know what I mean?
Like what the goal of that person is. If they're like, oh, this is what you should do. Here's the link to such and such, and you think, okay, like you should look. If you can't see through that, then again, it's on you. So don't feel like, oh, we're being cheated. Oh, like they're lying to us. No, you're just stupid.
Yeah, you need to recognize what's load of shit like when you see it, and that's kind of on you. Do you and Amy smash to metal, or is it deadly silent and serious with eye contact? Um,
You can't have music. You can't have music on.
no, I don't. I don't play music when I fuck, and I don't
Do
smash in
you
silent.
do you have like a film on?
Nah, no, no, no. Well, maybe, but no. I like silence. I want to hear what, like, hear the noises.
No, but let's say, okay, say you're watching a film and it happens. You pause it.
Nah, no, no, no.
So you
Yeah,
would.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just keep on going. But me and Amy are both quite vocal, so when we're fucking,
It's quite funny. So like when we, because normally you haven't got kids or anything like that. We don't give a fuck. But like in the like sometimes it's like in the summer it was handy because we always just like fan. It's like proper fucking loud.
oh
So we
yeah.
just turn it on. We're like that's like the secret fan. Like
Whenever the fans on, mummy and daddy are cuddling.
no, because the fan will be on all the time, so you just never know.
Have you ever had the kids walking on you?
One time. But it was the little one. She didn't. That was like years ago. That was like 3 years ago. She didn't even fucking know it was like what it was.
You were just wrestling with mummy, right?
It was. Oh, I mean it. Well, I don't know. I tell you what, if Michael saw it now, like he would be. Because he's a lot more like the other day. Like Beck was like she was saying something about it. She was like, oh, like something porn. Michael says like, what's porn?
Ah,
And she was like, she's prepared because she's answered that before. She's like, it's like when you pawn your stuff, like you can go and like pawn,
yeah. Wow, that's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like that was fast.
yeah.
But yeah, not normally, not really, not really.
No, 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 no. On your next one, mate.
You do the next one or me?
You go. You go.
I just a bunch of like shit. I have like about 60 odd questions, and they're all how to break through the matrix. What the fuck does that even mean? Thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I actually don't mind him. I think he's all right. Don't get me wrong. Some of the stuff he says is very, very inflammatory, but actually he speaks a lot of sense.
It's funny enough, I watched like one thing about him on like on the YouTube shorts. And now every time I click on YouTube shorts, his shit comes up. Sometimes I sit there and watch it and I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, mate, he's got like a bad rap, but I think he speaks a lot of sense, man.
Why though? He seems
No,
like,
no, I don't get it.
I don't know what does he say that's like
well, it's like in 2022, mate, you say like fucking transgender is, if you've got any opinion on transgender, you're a cunt. It's just like,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, but no, he's right. He's right. What's Franco the Fox's stack? I hear he has a 400 squat at 10 kilograms. He is actually like more like 5 kilograms.
I was gonna say he can't be
Yeah.
10 kilos.
No. And yeah, he hasn't started yet, but maybe soon. uh, if you weren't bodybuilding, what would you do instead?
Uh, Probably something with music because I was really into guitars. So
Oh, I didn't actually not really know that about you.
hmm, that
Oh
was way
shit.
back. I was fairly good. I'm pretty sure we've spoke about this because I used to I used to play like just like a lead guitar quite a lot, and I was actually tempted to getting one again
Yeah.
because like at the time like it was like a I don't know how much you know about guitars, but I wanted this like Gibson Les Paul that was
Yeah, no.
like 3 grand, and I could never like obviously I couldn't get it at the time. And my stepdad got me the kind of like the more like peasanty version. There's like a I can't remember what it's called. So you got the standard and you got I think it's called custom. So the custom is like about 500 quid to up to 1 grand. So he got me that he got me one, and I was like really excited about it. But now that I can obviously afford to get like the one that's like 3 grand, I was tempted, but then I'm like, am I actually going to play it, or is it just going to be like just going to sit there?
Mm. Yeah, I found that. So I play the drums as well,
Yeah.
and I've been thinking about getting a kit. Obviously, the thing is with a guitar is like you can plug it in and you can with drums they're really obnoxious. Like they're so
No,
fucking loud,
with the
right?
guitar, you still because you still got the amp, so you still have it's still plus, especially if you're going to play it quite if it's not going to be loud, it doesn't come out the same.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, it's kind of like obnoxious, and in it, and uh, do you know what? Right? Actually, if I could wave a wand, would I love to be in a band? Yes. I feel like that would be an amazing job, wouldn't it?
We
Imagine
should do
touring
that.
around. Huh?
We should do that when we start bodybuilding.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Who's the best bodybuilder that you know personally?
Um, um, Probably, in my opinion, because I used to be coached by him as well. I think for me, Jamie Johal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know him, but not that well. But I would say, yeah,
No, well, yeah. I mean, not well. Know him. Does it mean like if I've spoken to Phil Heath? Does that count?
yeah.
Like what? How when it says like obviously when the question is know him, like how well should I know him? You know?
Well, yeah, that's a good one. I mean, know him personally. I don't really know him personally, so maybe I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Because we only know each other just to be like pleasant and polite.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
It's
Who?
hard, isn't it? I thought about that quite a lot. To be fair,
Go on.
I thought about that quite a lot. Like knowing on like a more like a deeper actually friends with. I'd say probably like you because like who like I can't think of someone that like I know that because obviously we know a lot of people and we know a lot of pros and things like that, but
Yeah.
know them
Like,
on a you know.
but as a friend, uh, well, that's nice of you to say, mate.
You can't say yourself.
well, I'm trying to think of like titles, and then if I'm not thinking of like the Jamie Howells or the Josh Mayleys, kind of like that level, then people that I know well in terms of titles would probably be Craig Madden. Like in terms of
Yeah.
what he's won and the amount of overalls, and he's actually a close friend.
Yeah. No, yeah. Craig's
If
good.
he's watching this, which I hope he is, I love you, but I will beat you on stage, so I'm better. So,
Mate, if he doesn't watch it, then he's missed all the don't tell him. Don't tell him.
yeah. Just what he says. I can't wait.
Yeah, no,
Hopefully,
it's hard, isn't it? Because it's we know a lot of people, but it almost to kind of say, oh, like again, what does it mean? Is it oh, I've had one conversation with that
yeah.
person, you know?
Yeah, if it's one conversation with someone, then yeah, the answer is someone else. But if it's like a friend, in terms of like what he's achieved in the sport, would probably be Craig. Um, As I say, fingers crossed we share the stage and I get to beat his ass. Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
do you know what he's competing?
I think he's going to go for Universe. He wants to win what I won this year. So
Hmm.
yeah, he's going to go for that
When
one.
is that? When is that this year?
Like May the 15th, give or
Yeah,
take.
because the list is out, isn't it? So
Yeah, yeah, I think yeah, it's around that weekend. So if he does and he gets his pro card, then we can,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, fingers crossed.
You got one?
Yeah, what trend in the industry don't you understand? Popular and no reason behind
Crops.
it.
I only
Yeah.
say that because I see a lot of people have it, and I kind of was like, oh, I really want a pair, but I'm like, I kind of feel like I've missed out. You know, when you're like, oh, if you get it like 4 months after everyone else has had it, and you're like, oh, look at me, I just got some crops, and you're like, yeah, you're about 4 months late.
You got to be ahead of the curve, ain't you? You got to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like, do you know what? This is like a little pet peeve of mine. You know when people do their check-in and they have the thing in their mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that bugs me. I don't know why. They're like, and they're doing this,
And they're
and they
like,
got that little, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that bothers me. It just does. You got next one, mate.
Oh wait, is that the like is that done that quick? Because I got a couple more.
Oh shit! Sorry, mate. Sorry, I'm
So
selfish. I'm sorry.
I was in the gym this morning doing cardio because I do cardio at Pure Gym, and I see this guy pacing around the gym, and he just thinks he's massive, right? And he had leggings on, but he's training upper body.
Yeah. No, I don't
Unless
like
you
it.
got legs, don't wear fucking leggings. Or unless you're training, say if I train legs and I wear like tighter, they're like kind of like leggings. But I got like a long as fuck t-shirt or a long jumper that you can't fucking see my dick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, this like short fucking top, and it's like leggings, and I'm just oh my god, and he paces around the gym like he's fucking Ronnie Coleman.
Hold on a minute, don't you? Oh, you do your cardio at a commercial gym.
I do it at Pure Gym because it's right, just 2 minutes away. Because I get up early and I'll go to cardio. I'll get back. I'll have my first meal. Get ready to go to the gym.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Because it's literally like a 2 minute drive, so it saves me having to drive to my gym, which is 20 minutes away.
I think of another annoying trend.
What about you love the one arm pull downs and all
Oh, okay.
that.
Well, yeah, that's a good one actually. All right, okay, so let's open that can of worms. So we're in a group chat. There's like four of us in the group chat, and
Well,
I've
our
got
group chat.
say again.
Our group chat.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
you, me, Craig, and
Craig and Tom. Yeah.
and I've been posting in there a lot. Like he's already been mentioned today. He won't watch it, so who gives a shit? I think he's a really good bodybuilder, but I just think he goes over the top. Cuba, like his attention to detail, I can see why a lot of people would like that. But for me, it's such an overcomplication of something that doesn't need to be overcomplicated. So I think the trend I don't see the point of is making shit seem like it's super technical. The other day, he did a video about a cable camera curl, and it was like 3 minutes long. You know how hard it is to do a cable hammer curl? Not very. Why the fuck are you doing a 3 minute video? I'm talking about your rib cage and how you're fucking holding yourself. Like, come on. But yeah, overcomplication of bullshit things.
I found some of it useful. So like some of the lat work, some of the lat stuff that he's spoken about, that I found some use in that. But yeah, some of it is way over the top that you just think, well, there's just no need. Like the bite, the curl. Like how it's an easy movement. You know, you move the elbow, you flex the elbow, and that's it. Your bicep contracts. And you could even just do that, and you're like, okay, my bicep's moving. What more is there to that?
Yeah. Do that under load with control.
No, I think the back's different because the back has so many different muscles involved. But
I'm good. I feel like I've just 180 already. I just want to restate again. Cuba is a better bodybuilder than me. I'm not saying that I'm better than him, and I'm not saying he isn't clued up when it comes to biomechanics, right? just saying it's a little bit overkill. Because some of the stuff he says, I agree, it's pretty cool, but no, I think the problem is there's a lot of newbies and youngsters who will watch that and think that that is what they need to be doing, but it's not. It's just making shit hard for the sake of it.
I think a lot of it now is lazy people are trying to out science their way out of hard training.
Yeah.
You know?
Me.
Oh, I'm not going to do a barbell row because it's too taxing to a CNS.
Yeah, too much neurological damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't even do like 2 plates on it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You
know? Yeah, when I don't like it when people are too like caveman. But I also don't like that Cuba style. I feel like there's good from both, and just try and get in the middle. But ultimately, like, you know, if that's his angle and that's what he wants to do, crack on. But in my opinion, it's too much.
It makes training not fun.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, mate. I just no. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah. Anyway, next one.
Is it you?
I'll go.
Ah. Oh, I feel like I'll have an easier time with my dad. Like he'll be like, I get it. I don't know, like my mum's odd, like it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that one actually. I feel like your mum, like she's a woman. She's brought you into this world. I don't know. With your dad, you can almost like shake his hand and be like, "Look, Dad,
yeah,
turn around."
Yeah, you were like, listen, you gotta. Yeah. I mean, that's easy. That's the route I'm taking for sure.
Yeah, my dad's getting it. My dad's getting it 100%. All right, next one, mate.
Right. Can girls train as intense and heavy as guys? That's a really stupid question.
Did anyone actually ask that and be serious?
Bro, I got girls that train harder than 80% of guys that like I know.
Yeah, because people don't realize like training hard and training heavy is not the same thing necessarily. You can train heavy relative to you, but really, really hard. So just because someone can bench 200 kilos doesn't mean they're necessarily training harder than someone who can bench 100 kilos. Do you know what I mean? Relative.
I almost think like a lot of us, like guys, they're like, well, I must pull down the stack. Then you see girls and then they're pulling like a third. But their backs looks like when they're lean, their backs like are just insane. You could just see it from top to bottom. Development is like, and you think sometimes I think to myself, should I like just use half the stack? Because like a girl's like say half my weight. If I use like half the stack, does that?
Yeah.
Because then I think a lot of ego comes in with us. We're like, oh, I must deadlift 7 plates aside. And how much of that load is actually going to that muscle? Or how much is it just like...
Yeah, definitely. I think, like we were talking about the other day, I think like deadlifts like very much a mechanical movement. Like it's how good you are at doing the movement rather than how much muscle you have. I don't think the two are necessarily linked. Yeah, man, I think how many men, not women do, but how many men really fall into the trap of thinking like heavy, heavy, heavy? Like I would honestly say like 75% plus are just trying to lift as heavy as they can, always.
I think it's a lot less now because people think, oh, I don't have to lift heavy, you know, but that's just an excuse for them being lazy, but like, or not wanting to train hard. But certainly back when we started out, that was the thing. That was lift as heavy as you can.
Yeah, definitely was. I, for the first 5 years of training, I definitely believed that it was just get as strong as you can. And when you do,
and I still think that. I still think if you're not trying to get as strong as you can, then you're not gonna. The muscle just has a different look. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
look, when you're at the point that you're at, I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna press like 250, 260, 280? You know, but when you can press 140 for solid 20 reps, well, you can do 10 with slow eccentric and get a lot more out of it. Now, if you're someone that's doing 60 kilos, what the fuck are you doing slow eccentrics for?
Yeah, but do you know what? Do you not think that their strength is a little bit genetic as well? A little bit.
Sure. genetic skill.
So what I mean is, let's say you're a fit and able guy. You're 25. You've been training 5 years, but you're just not that genetically very. You haven't got a propensity to be strong, and you're doing 80 kilos bench, and you're controlling it, and you've got a good chest.
I don't know what person that's got 80 kilo bench has a good chest.
But 80 kilo for like 10 to 15, but really controlled.
No, I could do that like 2 months into training. No, no. I think people that have good chests genetically have good chests, but they're also fucking strong. I don't think there's people that bench 80 kilos and have really good chests, or if they do, they're like, oh, look at me, like I don't have to train that. There's a guy on Instagram that he's always like, oh, I don't have to train as heavy as other people. I can get away with it because I got genetics. And you're like, yeah, but when you diet down, all your muscle disappears. So you're.
I guess there's always like an exception to the rule, but yeah, you're probably closer to being right. You know what people always do? They go this. But look at James Hollingshead. He's got that gnarly, grainy muscle because he lifts heavy. Okay. But do you not think that he's got that gnarly, grainy muscle because also genetically he's got that skin, that really thin skin? He could have done higher volume, lighter weight, and still got a very good result. Do you know what I mean? People always attribute his look to how heavy he lifts. Then what about
if he's done like
Phil Heath
220 bench for like reps and that, he probably could have got away with just 180 for reps. But 180 is still fucking heavy. I think if had he stuck to say 120, he would not look like that.
Yeah, I probably agree with that one. I think there is a point where it is a bit shit, right? Has to be a level of strength.
Yeah.
You can't just get away with fuck all strength. You have to have something, right?
Which you see now a lot of that. You see, like, I look on my I look on Instagram and this guy, he's doing like 80 kilo RDLs, and he's got a long ass fucking paragraph talking about the mechanics and like reps in reserve and all this shit. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Or like failure, training to failure. I'm like, you can train to failure all you fucking want. 80 kilos fucking RDLs ain't gonna fucking cut it.
Yeah, because you'll get cardiovascular tired before you get muscular fatigue.
No, because he's just not that strong, I don't think.
Okay, yeah. That's shit.
I mean,
that's shit. But you know, like
he's also got no muscle, so yeah.
There are certain people who have been. I know they're genetic freaks, like Dexter Jackson or Phil Heath, but like they weren't known for lifting heavy, but they were fucking stacked with muscle. You know?
Yeah, but didn't Phil still lift heavy at some? Like, look, point. Okay, there's videos of him doing chest. And he's doing like the 4.5 he was training with Jay Cutler. Harney training both him and Phil. They got a video training together. He's strong. He had like, you know, the hammer strength incline. He had like 5 plates on that. I mean, that's not weak. That's still strong.
How many did he do? I put a video up today. Did he beat me?
How many did he do? I don't know.
Did I beat Phil Heath? Come on.
I'll find out.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, maybe they are strong. Maybe like Dexter and Jackson was strong in his young years. Maybe he was. I don't know. I think they're definitely.
I mean, look, potentially, like, but a lot of these guys are strong. Like,
yeah.
And again, look, the thing is, look, if you train for 20 years, what you're telling me that you for 20 fucking years, 25, however long, you're gonna do 80, you're still gonna do 80 kilos. No, you're gonna get strong. At some point, you're gonna get fucking strong.
Wow. Do you know what though? We spoke about this again in the group that we're in. Like, some people are just weak, just are. Like, they train a lot and they don't seem to get past a certain level.
Yeah, but look, if you train for 20 years, wouldn't you say that you're gonna be strong to a certain extent?
To a degree, yeah.
Like, you can't train bench for 20 years and still have a 100 kilo bench. You're still going to be able to do 180, for example.
There's a guy, I'm going to get it now, so I'm going to get the number. I'm not going to mention his name, right? He was a client and he's just left me not so long ago. And we had a focus on his chest, right? And he was sending me videos of what he could do. And it was like mental. Here you go. Yeah, he's doing 80 on the incline on Smith. I've got the video here. I'm not going to show it.
Right.
And he done like 6 reps. He's been training for he's older than you.
How long has he been training?
And he's doing 24 on dumbbell press. He's in the late 20s and he's been training for 10 years. He's natty.
In that case, you probably missed out that first initial stage of building that strength base.
Maybe.
Because
I think some people are doomed. There are some people who are just strong, really easy, and there are some people who are just not.
Yeah.
You know?
Still a 20-kilo dumbbell. That's fucking taking the piss.
24.
Yeah.
I know we were doing like specific training to get his chest stronger. And
Yeah.
he went up like a couple of kilos.
That's not, you can't be putting in the effort.
Mate, the sets he's sending me, I'm like,
Yeah.
like he's like failing. Like, and he's got good form. Anyway, fuck it.
Yeah.
I think some people are doomed.
Wow, I'd hate that to be me. Imagine that being like weak as fuck.
Mate, like, and you know, like every week, if you want to progress your strength, you know, every week you're going to get stronger. Like, if you put the work in, next week you'll live more. You know that.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that luxury. They just stagnate. They don't ever quite get past it. That must be shit. That must be so demoralizing.
Like powerlifters, I see that a lot with powerlifters. I see them, I'm like, bro, you're squatting 160 for like a double fucking 4 years ago. What the fuck?
Like, but imagine calling yourself a powerlifter and you've got like a 160 squat. Like,
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. And then that squat is like a fucking like 9 RP 9. And you just think, what? How the fuck?
Right. There's this guy I used to coach as well, and he got like a 120 or 130 bench, and he sent it to me, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm going to book in for a power meet," and I was like,
"Oh." I mean,
but I don't want to be horrible, but like
we've both been.
There needs to be a base level.
We've been to powerlifting meets where you see that there's a huge variance between, like, you know, you've got someone that's like benching 240 and then someone that's like doing 80. So yeah,
I guess you want to be inclusive and you don't want to be a cunt. And I'm probably sounding like a cunt, but a 120 bench isn't. You don't get a 120 bench and think power me, or you should.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. Again, to each their own. But fuck it.
But equally, like, I watched a guy on he put a video up, and he goes under 180, and I've seen him. He could do 180 like 5 years ago. And he goes under the bar. And he does 2 reps and he racks it. And I looked at him, I'm like, you could probably do 6 or 10. How the fuck, how do you expect to get stronger if you quit after 2 reps?
Well, powerlifters never really want to go to total failure, or very rarely want to go to total failure, do they? It's about mitigating.
That was like a warm-up type movement. Like,
but they often do, like, it's not necessarily max effort week in, week out. I mean, it depends on what program.
Of course. The whole point is you escalate in volume, and then your like volume goes higher and your intensity goes down, and then you reverse it. So that's how you peak. But I don't know. If you imagine, okay, because his max is say 220, what are you doing with 180?
Yeah, I think some people maybe get like nervous or something, you know, like they're going towards their max weight.
And I think a lot of people with their programming, they're like, oh, like programming on like a power lift, and they'll ask me, what did you like? How did you program? I'm like, oh, I never programmed. I just went in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do bench, bench what I can. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm strong today. I'm gonna bench a lot. If I'm not strong, I just bench less, and
it's so true.
You know, come back.
It's so true. I never understand. You know, like when powerlifters, they have like, they're doing like 85% of their 1RM. Like, how do you know you're capable of that day? I don't know you, but every time I go into the gym, I feel slightly different. I'm not necessarily capable of the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Like if someone told me,
in theory, because with powerlifting, typically what you do is you test your 1RM. Say, for example, you're testing a meet, and let's say that's 200 kilo bench. So they'll say your training max is 10%. So it's 90% of your true max. So say, you know, 10%, that's 180. So you take that 180 and they say 60% for 3 sets of 8. So you should be able to do that at, say, 60%. You should be able to do that. I don't know. I mean, look, I never stuck to that. I never followed anything like that. I tried for like one like cycle, like mesocycle, like whatever, and I just like, fuck that, I can't be bothered. So I just went by how I felt, and I progressed a lot better.
Yeah, the power meet that I did that you actually came to as well. I didn't do anything for it. I just lifted
And
heavy. That was it.
yeah.
Yeah. That was it. Right, let's do another couple. I don't know how long we've been on to be honest, but fuck it. Do a
Right,
couple
man.
more, right?
Have you got any decent ones?
I've got three left.
Go on, let's do them. Let's do.
Right. Most overrated bodybuilder.
Rizzo?
Crizzo's good. I think Crizzo's good. The only thing that's not good about him is his midsection. Like it's not
Yeah.
his abs aren't very deep, you know?
Overrated or like hype? Derek Lunsford.
What? You don't think he's good?
Okay. How many times has he got it right? Once.
Hmm.
That one Olympia. The Olympia before that, he looked like shit.
Yeah.
Got
But
laughed on stage. Everyone was like, "Oh, he looks like
I think it's because he like over dieted because he was going to 212.
Sure."
You know what I mean?
But
And he ended
I
up
still
looking a bit
think like
flat and a bit.
he got it right one year, and it
I
was
think where he got.
close.
I
It was
think because
close. That year, it wasn't like, oh my god, like Phil Heath in 2013, like no question. But that year when Derek won, it was kind of like it's either or.
you know what it is? I think it's because of his potential, right? Because he's got that tiny waist and his
Yeah,
proportions are
yeah.
just mad.
But like all of a sudden, people were putting him in the top six. Like, hold on a minute. Like
Yeah.
the guy that nearly beat him last year, granted, he had to lose a lot of weight, but still, he couldn't be that far off.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Actually, I think for me the most overrated, which is weird because I really like him because we was on the podcast. I really like him. But Ian Valier, you like him, don't you?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I don't think he's in the top 10. He has like the worst genetics of all of them.
yeah.
But
Look, the
he's just
judges seem to like him and like his look
because he's
because
just really conditioned, isn't he? Really
they just
conditioned.
they just reward him for. I think with him, I think unless from what people have said, unless you see him in person, it just doesn't translate.
I've heard that quite a lot. Yeah,
Because they talk about his width, like how
yeah. He's got
wide and
he's got like like people talk about like the modern day bodybuilder in like the 90s, right? That's like a thing, yeah. I feel like he's the archetype. Him and Nick Walker are the ones that they're referring to. So Nick Walker's got that barrel belly, his belly like is this shape on the side. And Ian has got loads of mass and loads of condition, but he like lacks like detail. Look at his quad. His quads are ginormous, but they're not like deep separations. And that's what I don't like about this. So in my opinion, Ian Valier. You think Derek Lunsford?
Oh, mate, it's hard to say because there's just so many of them, and obviously anyone that's in the top 10, they're not, they're in the top 10, but
I think Hassan Mustafa.
he's overrated.
I think right. He always comes in top. Always. Like
Yeah, but then equally, no one really talks about him like a massive threat.
No, hold on, because he's done a fair few shows. He was the end of last year, beginning of this year. People were like, oh, he's fucking. He was against like Phil Klahar, and he was against. I can't remember. He was in the lineup, and they were like, Hassan, easy win, and I was like, was it? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. For me, I think he's got an ugly shape, and he looks quite soft a lot of the time.
he is soft. Yeah.
You know.
See, I think Hardy is like based on his like condition, sure, but like as far as like shape and like his arms aren't that great. I don't know. He's small.
I really like Haddy.
Yeah. What based on his condition?
Everything. Hold on a minute. I'm going to get him up.
I see a post up, a picture he put up. Looks really good, but I don't know.
I think he's got good arms.
No, his biceps are weird.
Yeah, to be fair, in all of these photos, he's not that great.
Compared to say like Brandon, I way prefer Brandon's physique.
No, I'll go Haddy over Brandon personally.
For what? For what parts?
Everything, the overall look, legs, back.
Brandon just has a really nice flow to him.
Yeah, Brandon's got a very nice flow. Brandon's upper body is hard to beat, but I think the lower body. Look at that from Haddy.
Mm.
Ridiculous. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
just prefer a bigger bodybuilder.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Um, yeah.
What about as an amateur, overrated amateur?
Amateur. Well, we don't really what it
In
in
the
the
UK
UK.
bodybuilding scene.
Uh I don't know because I mean, who's overrated?
Remember Make Bodybuilding Great, that page?
Yeah.
They was always going on about Stephen Physique.
Oh, bro, you can't talk. You can't talk to him like a good amateur bodybuilder.
Well, if he's
He
popular, like in
doesn't. You
terms of
can't count him in. Come on. That's like counting me. It's like I I can and I like the guy. I've spoken to him quite a few times. But bro, I I don't want to say, oh yeah, I got in better shape than him this year, but I did. And it's like he was soft. And he a lot of that stuff, like, look, like I said, I like the guy, but if you don't come in shape, own it and be like, look, I was fat, I didn't come in shape. Don't make excuses. Oh, I got ill. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. You
yeah,
didn't get in
yeah,
shape.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's like
I don't think it's fair for you to count him in as an amateur bodybuilder because he didn't even place in the top six or whatever the fuck in a
yeah,
in a
fair
in
enough.
a lineup that was like, you know,
Yeah, fair enough. I guess he was just the first one that came out into my head because every time that Make Bodybuilding Great page shared him, I was always like, Jesus, he was so off.
yeah.
Like,
And
so
and
off.
again, if you don't talk shit, and again, he got blasted, I kind of felt bad for him towards the end because the guy was like hammering him in, and I'm like, look, that's enough. Like, make him like, let him know that he's kind of like, fucked up, and let him get on with it. Let him reflect on like the excuses and all that bullshit, but let go. Like, you don't have to fucking hammer him in.
Yeah,
But
true.
yeah, no, that's not. I don't think he is.
No one really comes to my mind, to be honest with you.
Um,
Just
I mean, look, when you're talking about the top amateurs, like within like the kind of UK circle here, we've got like obviously within going for the IFBB, we've got yourself, Connor, Johnny.
who's that other dude in the lineup? Jim Giorgio.
Titan, his name is
Who?
Scottish Titan. His name is
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Him, Andy Scott,
Andy Scott. What's his
Greg,
name?
Greg Taylor. Yeah, he's very good. I don't
Strong.
think who else?
He's very strong.
Oh yeah, Josh
I
Law.
try.
Josh
Huh?
Law.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of these guys are overrated. They've all earned their right to be where they are.
Right.
Yeah.
What about underrated? Who's underrated? Someone that doesn't get that much recognition that is good.
Well, this year, Jim Giorgio kept getting like quite bad placings. Jim Giorgio's a bit of a freak. Comes in incredibly conditions and some like absolutely world class body parts. He was getting like fifth and fourth and not placing, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. My mate Rich saw him at the one of the shows that he done that he competed at. And he said when I saw it around the back, I thought like, what the fuck? Like, when you're intimidated by a physique, he said that's how I felt. And he said I was blown away when he didn't even play, he got beat.
There must be something that is working against him because he
I think
has
it's the
like,
age.
yeah, I think he's like 40, I think. But,
Is that could that be it?
maybe. But I think he's been rated for so long. So it's not like he's underrated in general. But
No.
this year he looks, I don't know, for me, he looked mental. He was like not even,
Did you see him in person?
I've seen him in person, but a few years back. And
No, I mean this year.
no.
Because obviously Martin did his peaks, didn't he? So
Yeah, Martin showed me over his like videos and stuff like that, and he looked pretty insane to be honest.
yeah.
I don't know.
Underrated. Yeah, I mean, do you think Johnny should have got his pro card this year?
Johnny might still be a guest, and he probably won't watch this, but maybe whatever. But for me, Johnny is not that aesthetically pleasing. Johnny is a lump of muscle. He's incredibly strong, and he's a good bodybuilder. And actually, he poses pretty fucking well. I don't think he's that aesthetically pleasing. And I think when he stood next to someone who's a bit more aesthetic with loads of muscle,
Yeah.
he's caught out. That's my opinion. I think he's beatable on the ground. He's very thick, and he's going to outmuscle a lot of people. But I just think, yeah, he's not that aesthetic.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in full off season when he was in. That was actually the Manchester show that you done.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah, he was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I went chatting to him, and I was thinking, fucking hell, like, because he's quite short. His quads are quite high. They insert quite high.
Yeah, yeah. His legs look like they're not very big when he's got shorts on.
Right.
But it's because the upper part of his squad is like really big.
Yeah.
No, Johnny's really good. I think that he's very close to getting his card for sure. Yeah, but I think he's beatable on the grounds that he's not that aesthetic. That would be my opinion.
Do you think if
you watch this, Johnny, I love you, mate. So no offense.
Oh, look, we don't mean any offense to any. We're just kind of like chatting basically, and we like all these guys because we're friends with all of them.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, and Johnny will probably, if he was about me, he might be like, well, he's a bit tall, he's a bit stringy, and I'll beat him. Okay, cool. I really want to go against him and see what we look like. So we have stood side by side in Kings. He might have a little bit more thickness, but my overall frame's bigger. So I don't know.
Do you think guys compete too much and don't take the time off? So one guy that I got in mind that has taken the time off and that has massively, majorly paid off is Dan.
And
Dan Bastic.
Oh, mate.
His shots were mental. Like last.
He looks ridiculous. Like I think he's going to be a pro in the next couple of years for sure.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt in my mind. He looks mad. Like really good. Yeah, he's probably a bit underrated, to be honest.
I would. Yeah.
Right now, he doesn't really have much competing history.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's done a couple of shows and he's won him, but I think it was just a while back. So I think now when he comes back in like the circuit, he's gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna take it by storm, providing he can get condition because he's got the muscle. Jesus.
Yeah.
Providing he can
I mean,
get
his condition was in that first show that he done. He just didn't have the muscle. I think at the time that he could. Condition was spot on.
If he if he can bring condition, he's dangerous to anyone. 100%. 100%.
So on that, then, is it important to take the time off and not just compete?
Yeah, without a question, mate. But then there are some people who haven't ever taken extensive off seasons and are still big.
Like who? See, exactly. Or they've done it so long that it just accumulates over time.
Who is it? I literally had him on the tip of my tongue. There is someone I'm thinking of, and they've never done a proper off season, and they were like, "This is my first proper one." Shit, who is it? I can't remember. I came across it within the last few months. I was like, Jesus, you've never done an off season? They're like, no.
Yeah, people lie.
Who?
People lie about shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Plus, if you're someone that's fairly new and you make really fast progress, take Steven Physique. Like when he first come on the circuit, I used to think he's huge and he looked insane at the time because he was a junior. Fucking hell. I'm like, mate, in like a couple of years, this guy's going to be like a monster. But that's on the basis that he continues on that kind of linear trajectory. If he doesn't, which he didn't, now we kind of look at him and think, yeah, man, he looks average.
Would you know what the thing is that people overlook quite a lot is that if you can't get full condition, your 3-year off season doesn't mean much. If you come in at like 80% condition, you're going to get smoked by guys smaller than you.
Yeah, but you see that quite a lot now. Guys that aren't fully conditioned still get rewarded. It's quite common that it's quite common.
I get that, but I just think you're leaving the door wide open.
Oh
you're not coming in, do you know what I mean? And you can take all the time off building all the muscle you want, but if you're not fully conditioned, But yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
think people you need to spend more time in off season. Yeah.
because this is kind of like how I like. Let's say for me, if I was to ever compete, well, then I would have to go in with the class ones. So for me to do that, so like for example, like Dan, it's important to take the time off to make sure that you belong.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Well, you and him do have the right amount of muscle now, both of you.
No,
You as
Dan's
well.
like way ahead.
Yeah, no. I would say Dan's ahead for sure, but you still have a lot of
I think
muscle.
Dan's probably like he's got like 2 years on me.
Dan's level of muscle mass is almost like it's pro level already.
Yeah, especially in his back.
Mad, mate. The thickness is like crazy. I was just saying about how thick Johnny was. Him and Johnny did a side by side. Dan was arguably bigger than Johnny.
Oh no, I thought that.
Admittedly, though,
And
he is
Johnny
also,
then stood next to Jamie Joe Howe and made him look small.
Johnny next to Jamie. Jamie looked bigger than Johnny.
Oh, well, look, Jamie is bigger, but like maybe had the angle or
Yeah.
Jamie's legs looked a lot more. Johnny's legs look more impressive to me.
Oh no, I don't agree with that.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I overlooked the shot.
Yeah, I actually got this up the other day. It's me and Johnny.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but you're like way in off season here.
I'm not.
Are you
I've
not?
got blonde hair there. That was 20th of June, so I competed on 15th of May.
So 4 weeks.
About 4 weeks after my show. Yeah.
Yeah, but you go from like 260 to 290.
Yeah. Well, Johnny was like I think about 3 weeks out at that point because he did the British. Yeah, which was July, beginning of July.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a 3 weeks
Hard,
out.
hard comparison, but
4 week post is a big difference.
I guess so. All I'm saying is like structurally, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah, good match anyway. But hold on, Johnny put this far up as well, and I might as well do it while we're here because you can actually see it. Johnny put this up of Jamie and him.
It was a most muscular shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought Jamie Jahal's legs looked insane.
I mean, Jamie's legs are insane. I don't know, just like as a complete shot, I give it to Johnny. Maybe to my eye, it looks more. I would rather
maybe.
have Johnny's physique.
Oh no way! I'd have Jamie's.
No. In this picture.
Okay, yeah.
In this picture, not overall. Like, I mean, Jamie's front lat spread is like unbeatable. It's insane. Like, but especially Jamie looked really good this year in all of his shows. But in that picture, when you look at him, like his arms, and I don't know, it just looks to someone that's never seen them both, you would think, oh, like Johnny looks really good.
Yeah, I get that. I think it was an interesting one. I'm just making it right now, actually. Me and Johnny's back, and Jamie and Johnny's back. I can't really see, can you?
Your back looks better than Jamie's back.
I don't know, but it's interesting. It's just an interesting scale. But mate, I really want to go against Johnny. I think you want to go against the best people. I think it'd be really cool to have a lineup like Andy Scott, Greg Taylor, me, Connor, Johnny, all in the same mix.
Connor's looking really good as well now. Connor's like he's made a lot of progress. He's gotten bigger.
He looks like a monster. He looks like a fucking monster, 100%. Yeah, he's very impressive. Hey, let's wrap a couple more and then we'll wrap it up, eh? Can you lend me Amy for a night?
No. What?
Can I lend this person Amy for a night?
They'll give her back, bro. They'll give her back.
Have you got any more? Any good ones?
You've got one, didn't you? One more.
This is my last one.
Let's do that one.
If you could be World's Strongest Man or Mr. Olympia, what are you choosing?
Mr. Olympia, of course.
But World's Strongest Man's a fucking good title.
Bro, no. Most people I ain't got a clue who's the world's strongest man like this year.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because in the last couple of years it's been a bit of a drop off.
It's been
Like,
shit.
yeah, in the last few years it's been a bit of a drop off because some of the big names were out of it. But like someone like Eddie Hall is a household name. Half the Beyonce, they're household names.
Yeah, but Phil still not bigger than Phil Heath. All right, right. Put it this way: who's the biggest name ever in World's Strongest Man?
Oh, in World's Strongest Man, his name ever would be probably
because of his like.
Who did you say?
Thor.
Thor's maybe the most well known right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in terms of strongman, probably Zydrunas Savickas or
right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Now show someone a picture of them. They ain't gonna have. They're not gonna show your mum a picture or someone that's not like they're not gonna have a clue.
And then
show them Ronnie Coleman. Everyone knows Ronnie Coleman. Even non-body, like my nan, I can show her a picture. She won't know. She won't know the name of it. She won't know the name. She would have seen it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as well.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
I just don't find strongman that exciting. I think it's a pointless sport.
I love it. I love it. Bodybuilding's pointless, isn't it, as well?
No, because at least you get to look good. Strongman, you just kind of fat and look shit, and it's like
strong.
You can just say, I can pick up rocks. I can pick up really heavy rocks. It's like, oh, God, bro.
Well, yeah, but then you can say about bodybuilding, all they do is stand in pants and clothes.
That's cool.
That's not cool.
No, because we get to look good.
Yeah, they get to be strong.
Yeah, but you can't see strong. You just see someone fat, someone out of shape.
If you're stood near to that rock that they're picking
up. I still would just think, what's the point? I don't know. I never looked at it and think, I want to do that. Like when I see someone like do strongman, I'm like, I couldn't think of anything worse. And also, I think that is because 85% of strongman, they're not strong. They're not fucking strong at all.
Yeah, a lot of like amateur strongmen are not strong yet. But like the strongest strong guys are fucking mentally strong, like ridiculous. 400 kilos for reps and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'd still rather be a powerlifter than be a strongman.
Yeah. Because sometimes they're still in shape a little bit as well, powerlifters. Sometimes.
Quite a lot of them now.
Yeah, it's more common now, for
sure. Yeah. I mean, think Dan Green, like, fuck me.
Yeah. Well, the classic Larry Wills. Larry Wills was really good. And he's
that's right. So I'd still take a powerlifter. And it's a lot, even like the fat powerlifters, like what's the one that does the 800-pound bench?
Julius Maddox.
Yes. Oh, even him. Like I'd rather be him than like, I don't know, Eddie Hall.
Fuck off. Eddie Hall is like must be a multi-millionaire and fucking he done it too bad.
Julius Maddox.
No, he's not the same level as Eddie Hall. You reckon?
800-pound bench is way more impressive than that.
He hasn't done
500-kilo deadlift.
He hasn't done the 800-pound bench yet. Also, do you think that's more impressive than the deadlift?
Yeah. Because quite a lot of people have done it now. There's a kid that's just done 500 and something.
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell. And he weighs like 130 or something. Yeah.
So it makes it that much less impressive.
And also, Eddie Hall was wearing a suit.
Yeah.
But when Julius is doing it, he's got raw elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An 800-pound bench. Come on, that's mental.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's fucking mental.
Like for us to do 400 and we think, fucking hell, that's heavy.
Yeah.
So,
well, fair enough. I've just got one more as well. It just came through just now, and it's shit. Do you even like school?
What?
Exactly. Fuck off. I'm not answering that shit. Yeah, you got any more, mate, or should we wrap it up?
No, I think we've been going on for quite probably near on. Well, it must be near on 2 hours now, shouldn't it? I think.
Yeah, let's call it a day there, mate.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good though.
That's enjoyable, though, mate. I like that.
Yeah, I like the structure. Again, it's just different to bringing on certain, someone, and then it just makes it a little bit, mixes it up a little bit. I watched your vlog last night as well. So it was literally like, I, I was like watching it as I made my last meal, and I was like drinking my shake, and I was just like thinking, oh, and I was watching, and you're like, yeah, fucking eating is shit, and I was like, yeah,
That's what I mean. I feel like I put a new spin on it because everyone's always like, the grind, the grind. But the reality is, it's shit, isn't it? It's fucking crap. But
I think not many people are in a position that you're in where it sucks for you. Like I can kind of relate to that now, but for most people that eat like 3,500, like I mean, most people that bulk, they're bulking like what 3,000 calories. So for people like that, it's not. Come on,
yeah,
if you're complaining about that, you know,
yeah. People rarely go like above 4.5, like ever. You know what I mean?
then
So
I
for
guess you
them,
can say it's relative. So for you, for us 6.5, it's like really high and really difficult,
yeah.
and then they probably find the same for 3.5.
I think the only thing that's difficult is the time. So 6,800 is what I eat. It's not hard like for a week, but I've been doing it
Yeah.
for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months. I think yeah, like 5, 6. You know what I mean? It's just like
Mm.
yeah,
That's what it is, yeah. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I can eat 10,000 calories." Yeah, once.
yeah. And as you see as well, it's not dirty food. It's fucking food.
Yeah,
Food. I mean, so
yeah. It's not like ice cream.
no.
That said, I have been using like things like I use quite a lot of the Nutrigrain bars. I got that from Craig actually.
Yeah, yeah. I
They were
find them quite easy. I use Frosty's bars,
yes.
cereal bars with the milk on it. They just go down easy,
Asda has these really nice pancakes.
like buttermilk pancakes.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
thick ones.
yeah,
And they're actually macros are quite good, like, and they're not that high in fat.
yeah.
So they're just easy carbs. You can just easily eat that.
I used to give everyone them as post workout.
Yeah, yeah,
A couple of them with some like, honey or some golden syrup or something,
yeah. Just anything just to make it a bit easier to
Yeah.
for fats. Like I do quite a lot of mayo, just because it's like
It makes the food more enjoyable, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
yeah. Because you don't notice it. Like olive oil, I used to think olive oil is like nice, but then it gets to a point that even olive oil is like oh
It makes me shudder, when I look too much of it. Like, oh fuck now.
yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
mate. Been a pleasure, mate. Until next time.
Yeah.
Nice one, bro.
Yeah.
See you, man.